What if one of the most common beliefs about human relationship isn't true? We've often heard that men are polygamous in nature, and when this is being said, it is said like it's a biological fact, a universal truth, or simply part of the man's nature. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself where this idea came from? And if truly the man is naturally polygamous, what does it say about the woman? Can one half of humanity possess a nature that the other half doesn't? Especially if they were made by the same God? Well, today we'll be considering this belief from a biblical perspective. We will look into how humanity was created, what the scripture says about commitment and covenant, and if truly polygamy is a matter of nature or simply a matter of choice. Hi, before we get into that, my name is Chioma and this is the Ekklesia. The Ekklesia is a gathering of people who are open to God and curious about faith. This is actually the first video on this channel, so if you're watching it, you're amongst the lucky few. Please watch this video to the end so you determine if you actually like it. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. We want to grow this channel together, don't we? Because this is a thinking gathering, I need to know what you think. You can let me know that in the comments. Now let's get into the video. Let's begin at the beginning. In Genesis, God created Adam, and then he created Eve from Adam. The Bible tells us that God took out Eve from Adam's side, and it doesn't say he made her from a different substance or he gave her a completely different nature. No. Actually, when Adam saw her, he exclaimed, "Now, this is the bone of my bones." In other words, she shared the same human essence. Now, here's a question. If the woman was taken out of the man and they both shared the same human nature, how can we argue that only men are polygamous in nature? How is it possible that one group possess a supposed instinct and the other doesn't? If polygamy is truly a matter of nature, shouldn't it exist equally in both? Yet, many people who claim men are naturally polygamous are uncomfortable to apply the same logic to women. Why? If nature is the explanation for men, then nature must also be the explanation for women. So before we move forward, let's ask a simple question. Is the woman polygamous in nature? If your answer is no, then perhaps nature isn't the issue at all. Let's look at the scriptures. In the Bible, God repeatedly called Israel to remain faithful to him. The first commandment states, "You shall have no other God before me." God wasn't merely asking for obedience, he was demanding exclusive covenantal loyalty, a relationship in which your heart is fully devoted. This idea is captured in the Hebrew word davak, which means cleave, hold fast, or be joined. And you want to know what's fascinating? We see this concept appear in two major relationships in the scripture. First, the covenantal relationship between a husband and a wife, and second, the covenantal relationship between God and his people. This is strikingly similar. God calls us to cleave to him, and a husband and a wife are called to cleave to one another. Why? Because covenant requires exclusive devotion. Now, think about it. Would God create the human with a natural design for multiple competing attachments, yet still command them to practice exclusive covenantal loyalty? Huh? No, because that would be a contradiction, and we know God is not an author of confusion. Instead, the scripture points towards faithfulness, commitment, and covenantal unity. The pattern is not divided loyalty, the pattern is cleaving. Now, one reason why people actually believe that men are polygamous in nature is because they've heard it their entire lives. When a belief is repeated often enough, it begins to sound like the truth. Culture can normalize almost anything. We see celebrities celebrated for promiscuity. We see people being praised for having multiple romantic partners. We see social media glorifying lifestyle that would have once been considered unhealthy or destructive. Over time, people say, everybody does it. If it's common, it must be natural. If it's natural, it must be right. I'm sorry, but this conclusion doesn't automatically follow because some things can be common and still be harmful. Some things can be popular and still be false. Some things can be celebrated openly and still be contrary to God's will. The length of time a lie survives doesn't automatically transform it to the truth. The truth is still the truth even if it stands alone, and a lie is still a lie even if millions believe it. So let's go back to the question we asked in the beginning. Is polygamy nature or is it choice? I don't think anybody was made to lack discipline. I don't think anybody was made to lack self control. Maybe what we have called nature is actually untamed desire. Maybe what we have called instinct is actually learned behavior. Don't forget, no matter how long a lie is repeated, the truth never changes. Well, that's the end of the video for today. Please let me know what you think in the comments. If you watched till this point, you like the video. I'm telling you, you do like the video. So please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so we can grow this YouTube channel together. Till I come your way next time, you may go and grow.